Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Rewind That. It's your girl Miss K. So tonight we're going to be going over the latest episode of Empire. Now, before I get into this episode, let me just vent a little bit on my frustrations of this quarantine, okay? Like, I done had to stop everything, I don't know how many times, to tell people to be quiet around here. Like, it's 12:50 in the morning, okay, and I'm still telling folks to be quiet. Like, these kids think that it's a summer night now that school is out of session, but it's still in session. It's just online. Like, I'm telling them, no, y'all gotta still go to bed at certain times, this and that. They over here playing music, they trying to play games. Like, they're just losing control. My daughter tried to start a freaking fire yesterday, playing with the candles that I had lit, knowing she never plays with candles. But now the quarantine is getting in people's heads. Like, the quarantine is causing cabin fever, okay? My husband is cooking right now, okay, at 12:50 midnight. Dinner. Anyway, let's get into this video, all right? I just had to talk about the quarantine a little bit. All right, people are already ate around here, okay? I don't understand why the man is cooking. People are bored out of their minds, okay? I'm tired. I can't even do a video in peace. Anyway, so let's get into this, like I said. Now, instead of picking up where they left off, you know, they left us with a little bombshell last week about Cookie's sisters possibly having something to do with her going to jail, okay? So instead of picking up where they left off, they show us that Cookie and the rest of the girls at Boss Media are celebrating. I didn't really care about what they were celebrating, so I didn't go into that. But then Cookie's niece comes in and she says that she's worried about her mother. She thinks she's going to kill herself, so Cookie went and ran off with her. Okay, next we got Andre, and he's home with Teri, and he tells her, listen, you're going to have to forgive me sooner or later, okay? And she tells Andre, you know, I just don't think that we should be planning a wedding right now because I can't even think straight. And so Andre goes and brings in this big old burly, okay, black security guard. Not that his color, his race matters, okay? But he brings in this security guard talking about, I got an assistant named Courtney who's going to be with you 24 hours of the day. So basically, he's trying to stop. He's trying to make sure, okay, that Teri has no way to leave, to skip town. Remember last week how I gave y'all that advice about getting to going when you can while the man is gone and not telling him about your plans? This is why, guys. This is why. Because now you got a rich man. She got a rich, crazy man. So somebody that could actually watch her behind while he's away. Somebody that's going to make sure, okay, that she don't run away and leave him. Ain't that a daggone shame? So now the man is treating her like a freaking prisoner. All right. So anyway, I'm going to be skipping over a lot of scenes with Yana and Lucious through this review because I'm over them. I know a lot of you that's been following me from the beginning with my reviews. Yeah, I know that I can't stand the whole Yana and Lucious situation, so I can't even talk about them this week, really. So next, it looks like Hakeem is on the set doing the Lucious movie, and I wasn't going to mention this, but I just didn't like how his music didn't even sound anything like Lucious's music, to be honest. Like, it didn't even have that same sound, you know, or it didn't even sound like it came from that era. It just honestly sounds like regular, modernized Hakeem type of music. So they messed up with that one. Anyway, so let's move on. So now Cookie and Candice, they bust into Carol's house, you know. Well, not really, because Cookie has a key. Okay, but they bust into Carol's house and they find Carol snorting coke or crack or whatever that is she prefers. And they go back and forth with her for a little while, but eventually they grab her up and tell her that they're taking her to rehab. So on the ride to the rehab, the sisters are pretty much airing each other out. You know, Cookie tells Carol that she needs to be thinking about her kids, but Carol says, girl, please, you need to be thinking about your own kids. You wasn't there when Andre had his first bipolar breakdown. You wasn't there when Lucious mistreated Jamal for being gay. And you wasn't there for Hakeem's first step. So, you know, Cookie is like, listen, I don't need a recap. You know what I'm saying? Of course, she's making Cookie feel bad because this is the biggest regret of Cookie's life, okay? And so as Carol is saying this, all I could think of is, wow, you saying all this, but you had a lot to do with that. You and your other sister, Candace, had a lot to do with Cookie being locked away and missing all those precious moments in her children's lives, okay? Anyway, so then Carol gonna add, you knew what it was like to be raised without a mama and you still abandoned your boys, you stupid babe. Anyway, so, you know, once again, Carol is being nervy here because if she has something to do with Cookie getting locked up, she shouldn't be saying all these things, okay? So next, Kingsley is about to have Andre lose or destroy Empire, all right? Because Andre's over here trying to tell Treasure that she's gonna lip sync her songs, and Treasure is like, no, people are gonna know, and besides that, what happened to me is your fault. So Davon tries to be the peacemaker, but Andre, aka Kingsley, tells Davon basically to mind his business. Like, when I need your opinion, I'll ask for it, Romeo. You know, so instead of just leaving it at that, Andre digs further and says, instead of worrying about Treasure, focus on the other women in your life, like that gimp sister of yours and Tiana. And if you was doing everything you had to do, Tiana wouldn't keep going back to my brother. And so, you know, when Andre said what he said about Davon's sister, he was already offended, okay? So he was already up out his seat. But once Andre brought up Tiana and Hakeem, Davon punched Andre in the face. And I was actually here for it, honey, okay? But we have a psycho named Andre, all right, who commenced to whooping Davon's behind, okay? Kicking his behind, baby, punching him up, roughing him up. I mean, listen, Davon, that was cool of him to punch this man in his face, you know what I'm saying? That was awesome. But he just couldn't hold a candle to Andre. And it's just, that just is what it is, okay? So anyway, Andre bugs out and tells everybody to get the hell out, you know? So they ran out and everything. And like I said, he is on his way to losing Empire, freaking everything. Artists, employees, all of the above with the way he's acting. So next, Davon goes to confront Tiana and asks if she slept with Hakeem again, you know, after I'm pretty sure Tiana's looking like, okay, I thought we resolved this problem. But Tiana's silence was enough for him, and he tells her that it's over, okay? She tries to tell him that she was sorry, but Davon repeated, it's over. You know, after he told her, you know, I try to treat you like a queen. You know, you act like you want a good boy, but you don't know what to do with one and all this other stuff. And he just told her, look, it's over and I can't. All right, so that was that. So now the sisters are at a diner. You know, they stopped at a diner to get something to eat. And when Carol starts to act out towards one of the waiters, it causes Cookie to wrap her arm around Carol's neck and bring her close. And Cookie tells her, calm down before I take you behind outside and beat you, you know what? Okay, now Carol says, why don't you back up off me, Cookie? You're always trying to tell me what to do. And Cookie says, because you are incapable of making good choices. All right, so after a flashback scene to their childhood, Carol says, so because you was bossing me around and trying to be my mom, that gave you the right to kill my man? And she was all loud about it too. So Cookie says, he was beating you and was dangerous, so I had to do something like I always do. Okay, and Carol says, B, please, I was a grown woman and it was complicated. So Carol is pissed now and says that she lost her appetite and she leaves the diner, okay? But Cookie reminds her, girl, you can't get that far because I got the keys, okay? So next, Lucious is in Andre's office and he goes into a safe where he finds these letters from a correctional facility. I couldn't make out the letters at first, you know, but the sender did say L. Lion. So I pretty much figured later on that that might have been Lanithia Lion or something like that. I guess Cookie's name, if that's her name, it's Lanithia, right? Anyway, so Lucious hears Andre approaching, so instead of putting the letters back, he keeps them and he hides behind a wall as Andre comes in. So Andre goes to a mirror and Lucious can hear him talking to himself saying, "You're ruining my life. Get out of my head." So at this point, Lucious is done with hiding. He wants to know if his son is okay. So he makes his presence known and asks Andre if he's okay. Now, Andre doesn't seem to be surprised that Lucious is there, but tells Lucious that he's fine and just a little stressed. So Lucious proceeds to tell him that he's not worried about Empire. He's worried about his son because he knows he's been through a lot. You know, the cancer, his heart, and all the other stuff. But the Kingsley and Andre kicks in and starts saying things like, "Your worry sounds a bit like envy. So tell me why you're here." Okay. So Lucious says, "You know what? That's a good question. Let me get up out of here." So Lucious then leaves the office. All right. So next we have Teri, and she goes to see Andre's psychiatrist. And she lets him know that Andre's behavior has been a bit erratic lately. Okay, now off the rip, the doctor says, "I'm sorry, I can't discuss his treatment with anybody, not even his spouse." So Teri says, "At least please just tell me if my baby and I are in danger." So Doc says, hypothetically speaking, anyone that is close to a patient that displays symptoms you're describing should take every precautionary measure to protect themselves and those close to him. So, you know, Teri is pretty afraid at this point. And of course, she has to think of an exit strategy. But how when she got this big old freaking bodyguard following her all over the place, okay? Next, we have Tiana, and she's feeling all kinds of depressed about the breakup with Davon, okay? But now, you know, Becky, she's business as usual. Like, girl, we gonna have to get you up out of that funk. Don't even be worrying about Davon. Take that song that you was gonna write about him and turn it around on him, girl. Turn it into a breakup song or whatever. So it didn't take long for Tiana to get what Becky was saying, okay? Miss Drug Addict Becky. I think, honestly, that something is probably going to wind up happening with Becky because they just really showing this girl taking drugs a lot, okay? Putting it all in her bra and everything. Like, the girl is starting to become an addict, okay? Anyway, so before we know it, Tiana says, "What's wrong with a little hoeing?" Okay, men do it all the time. Okay, so I told y'all that Tiana was a man eater. Okay, I done told y'all that. Anyway, so you know, they start to go in the studio and write, and that's it. Next, we got Lucious, and he's going through the letters he found, and they look like I was saying, they might be letters that Cookie wrote, and she addressed them to her kids, because the one he was looking at was addressed to Andre. All right, now we get a flashback with Lucious talking to Bunky, and he was telling him that he can't bear to see Cookie like that. Now, I get what he's talking about, okay? But at that time, when Cookie needed him the most was when Lucious should have put all of his feelings to the side and been selfless, sucked it up, and just took it. Like, it may have been painful to see her like that, but she needed him to be there, and he was not. And that was not cool. So sometimes we could be in situations that make us feel uncomfortable, but when it comes to being there for other people, gotta be selfless and put all that to the side. Okay, so anyway, it looks like Lucious decides that he told Bunky, right? In the flashback, he told Bunky, "Look, I can't get myself to even write this letter. I've been trying to write this letter for so long." So it doesn't seem like he ever got a chance to write the letter he wanted to write to Cookie. So it looks like he had this book on his desk and he started to write the letter then, okay? We'll talk about that a little later. So now we got the ladies and they're driving to the rehab, and Carol tells Cookie that she took their mother leaving them harder than her sisters thought. And she let Cookie know that by taking Darrell away, it made her feel like Cookie takes everything away from her, you know? But Cookie says, "Look, Darrell was no good for you, and I did what I did because I loved you, girl. Don't you understand that? We love you." But Carol says, "You can't fix me, sis, okay? Just like we couldn't fix you when we tried to get rid of Lucious." Of course, Candace chimes in once again and says, "Carol, you better shut up. Don't say another word." So Cookie says, "No, girl, let her talk. She's been trying to get this off her chest for a long time now." So Carol finally tells Cookie that they called the cops They tipped the cops off so that Lucious would get busted, but it backfired on Cookie, unfortunately, okay? They tell her that they were scared for her. They didn't like the fact that she was living that life and she was in the streets. They didn't know if she was going to get killed or if the boys would catch a bullet, so they were concerned. And so they did what they thought was best, okay? And then Carol added, we didn't know that you was going to be stupid enough to take the rap for Lucious, you know? So Cookie says, you know what? Y'all could walk, okay? The rehab is about a mile down. So the irony of this whole thing is that Cookie couldn't bring herself to understand why her sisters did what they did after she killed Darrell for the exact same reason, okay? You wanted to protect your sister, okay? So you went over there with intentions to scare the man, but you wound up killing him, okay? But even to this day, the consolation in your mind is that you was protecting your sister, okay? You got rid of the man that she loved, the so-called abusive love of her life, because you were afraid for her life, okay? Because you loved her and he was dangerous. Now, they felt the same way about Lucious with you. They felt like in order to save their sister's life, they had to get rid of Lucious. But unfortunately, it just backfired. Their plan backfired because their sister Cookie was a real ride or die. And maybe they just didn't realize that, you know? And the thing is, Cookie says, that wasn't your call to make. And Carol could have the same argument. That's why Carol said, how does it feel, Cookie? How does it feel? We was just trying to protect you. We was just trying to mother you. You know, how does it feel? That's the pot calling the kettle black, you know? So Cookie is just, she's too much in her feelings to see that her sister's intentions mirrored her own when it came to her killing Darrell for Carol. They all had the same intentions. But like I said, Cookie cannot see that right now. She's too upset. I don't know if she's ever going to come around and see it, but I think she will. I hope she will. It's a tough one though, you know. I thought it was going to be a little different. Like, I thought it was going to be on some more grimy stuff. I didn't know that the sisters were really trying to stick the feds on Lucious. I thought it was going to be more like they got their own sister in trouble. But it wasn't like that. So they tricked us. But anyway, you know, I believe that they'll get over it. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, I almost was wondering, like, how dare Candace get upset when Cookie called the cops on her son Franklin when she done made her sister do 17 years. But you know what? Not the same, because Candace did not intentionally call the cops on her sister. But anyway, so before I end my video, I just wanted to talk real quick about Yana and Lucious at the end. You know, Lucious calls Yana in and he wants her to hear this song that he has written. Okay, and when she reads the words, automatically her silly behind assumes that Lucious wrote it about her, about the time that he spent away from her. And she's like, oh, Lucious, I didn't know that you felt that way about me. Because he doesn't, boo-boo, okay, dummy. Now, the thing about this is that Lucious freaking lets her believe it, knowing daggone well that was his unfinished letter to Cookie, or matter of fact, I'm not even going to say unfinished letter. It's the letter that he never wrote to Cookie that he finally finished, okay? And instead of letting Yana hear the truth, he let her believe a lie because he wanted her to freaking do that song, okay? So now the old Lucious is coming out a little bit. Before I was saying, you know, Lucious is really seeming like he's trying not to be selfish when it comes to Yana, but now I see, listen, he like, listen, I gotta get this money. All right, so anyway, like I said, the whole Yana storyline is just frustrating to me, and I don't even know why they brought the girl on, so I don't even want to talk about all of that. So clearly, they're back on to having their little love affair relationship, because we saw what happened at the end. They started to kiss, and she was unbuckling his pants and all that stuff, and I could care less about it, but whatever. Now, she just gonna wind up getting hurt because she's gonna see that Lucious is in love with Cookie, and that's it. That's the love of his life. Now, anyway, so, you know, Teri she has fled from Andre, okay? Because when he came home, she was in the bathroom and she had on her little wedding dress, and, you know, he kind of like was roughing her up a little bit, and she said, please, Andre, let me help you. So her pleading with Andre, she was able to get past Kingsley and into Andre, and she was pulling on Andre's heartstrings, and Andre realized he was able to fight his way through and realize what he was doing to his wife. So when he was out of it and Kingsley wasn't in control, Andre said, go, Teri, go. Like, he's basically trying to get his wife out of the house because he knows right now he has no control of himself anymore. Okay, so Teri was leaving. We saw that she went to a hotel, but when she gets into the hotel, freaking Andre, aka Kingsley, is there. Okay, and now he's like, give me my son. If you ever run away again or try to take my son, that'd be the last time. He's irreplaceable. You are not, you know, all this craziness. So that was kind of annoying how, you know, Andre let her go, but then he was there at the hotel. So I guess Kingsley must have put some kind of GPS track on her daggone car or something like that. But to be in the hotel room before she got there, that was a bit stupid. Anyway, I'm just through, guys. This episode was okay. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Thank you to my new subscribers. Make sure that you guys be safe. Keep your hands clean, hand sanitizer. They're saying that we should be keeping our throats moist. Keep some water next to you. Sip on water every 15 minutes. Have some tea with lemon every day, making sure that your throat stays acidic. They're saying all these things help to keep the virus at bay, guys, and making sure that, God forbid, if you did come in contact with it, it won't get past your throat. You kind of kill it right there. That's all the stuff that I've been hearing about. So just want to pass it on. All right, you guys be blessed and take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.